Yo, what is up, PPL fans? Shoutout here, coach of Bayern Munich, and welcome to PPL Season 5, Week 6. We now have more weeks in the season than we have seasons. Isn't that exciting? No, it is not. And this week, we're up against my very good friend, Paulie Mac, and his West Coast Wingulls. His link will be in the description below as always. Make sure to check him out. He is one of my best friends in the community, and just general, not just in the community. And he's a absolutely fantastic player. He's absolutely tearing it up in the PPL. He's 1 TBU, and Gen 7 just has been his gen so far. Even though he had a rough start to PPL, but overall he's been doing fantastic. He destroyed Joel. He destroyed Mono. He fucked Kyle. He beat Leo, of course, in the TBU finals. Spoilers, the hacks in that final didn't matter. Anyway, so yeah, please make sure to check him out. He's a great content creator as well, and show him some love because he is a great guy. Now, you will also notice that on your screen there's a Pokemon I didn't have on my team before. Up here, that's the Pokemon I didn't have. So, for this week, I decided that I would drop my Medicham and my Skuntank. I know, very sad, Zebo had to go, but I did the thing in one game, and pick up Zoroark. Now, what that allows me to do is give me something really important for this matchup. This matchup is the main reason I picked up Zoroark, because it has such a good matchup against him, and just helps me so much with his team. So we'll get into why that is and how I bring it in a second. But so yeah, Zoroark is there. Medicham was never brought to a game, but it was there in spirit. I initially had it planned to use for week 2, and then I didn't bring it, and then I lost. So maybe I should have. I don't know, but yeah. So that's that. Zoroark is there. I had it in PPL Season 1. If you guys might remember, if you've been there, if you've been here since Season 1, then you're a fucking trooper. But yeah. So yeah, Zoroark is back. I'm excited to use it. It's a beautiful Pokemon. I think it's vastly underrated and underappreciated, more so than underrated, and it's gonna be fun. So now let's get into matchup, and the two teams should pop up on screen about now. And Paul decided to draft Thunderous T as a Z-move user, Mega Scizor, Toxapex, Donphan, Mienshao, Gourgeist, Garchomp as Super Z-move user, Mesprit as Z-move user, and Liepard. A very scary, fairly offensive team with a lot of Volturn, and there are a lot of things that are very scary to my team. The main things are Thunderous T, as just like with pretty much every other team in existence, it destroys me. Garchomp absolutely dicks me. Mienshao is a huge problem. Toxapex and Donphan are pretty annoying, and offensive Donphan can also just dick my anus. Mega Scizor can be a threat, depending on how he plays it. If he plays it perfectly, and builds around it and stuff, then that can definitely be a threat. Liepard is a fucking giant issue. I don't have a switch into that. How often do you hear anyone say that? And that's because I just dropped Skuntank. If I had Skuntank, it wouldn't be a problem, but I need Zoroark. And Mesprit would also be a problem, which again, Skuntank deals with, and Gourgeist. So the things Skuntank would deal with are now issues, but it's manageable. I think I'd much rather have Zoroark, which deals with the bigger threats, than have Skuntank, which I probably wouldn't even bring, and deals with the less threatening Pokemon. So, that is pretty much that. Yeah, that's that. So I'm definitely expecting Fun Team Mienshao, Garchomp. If he doesn't bring those 3, I think he's lost his mind. And then he can bring any combination of the other 3. Really, I think Donphan is very likely bringing. So I'm like 85% sure that's coming. And then I don't think Gourgeist is coming. I think that's by far the least likely one, because it just doesn't do anything against my team. Kind of like Lantern against Better Jack. But Lantern ended up coming. But like, Gourgeist does nothing. Like, it deals with Seismic Toad, that's the only thing it does, and Rain Toad actually goes in on his team, so if he wants to be prepared for that, he can definitely bring it. Other than that, I don't see a use for it. Then there is Liepard, I just said, big threat that he can definitely bring. Mesprit and Donphan are both potential rockers, and Mesprit can of course, do Z-move shenanigans, healing with shenanigans, Scarf stuff. And yeah, so I'm also expecting him to at least bring 1 Scarf, maybe even 2. I don't think he's gonna go the Jolt route of bringing 3 fucking Scarfers, but we'll see. But yeah, 1 or 2 I definitely expected. I think Mienshao, Thunny T, and Garchomp are all very much possibilities for a Scarfer. Mesprit 2, but not as much, because it's just a little too slow and doesn't deal with any of my Scarfers or plus 1 Zard. So let's get into team I'm bringing, actually, because it's been 5 minutes, I haven't said anything. So first up, we'll bring in Scott to run with the Cobble Berry, Levitate, Hex, Volt Switch, HP Ice, and Will Wisp, max HP 84 in the fence, and 172 speed. I forgot what it was for with Timid Nature. I'm pretty sure it was from Mesprit. Pretty sure. This was like the first set I built, I think. So like, I don't even remember fully, but pretty sure it was for Mess. But yeah, Brodom has such a good matchup against me. He has nothing for it, as unless he brings a special life part, which is definitely possible. But then, or like, yeah, if he's special, then he can't touch Finny. So like, I don't think it's coming because Grassland is like 5. So yeah, I definitely think a more physical set is coming. But yeah, his team has nothing for Wolves. His entire team does not enjoy getting burned, which is super nice for me. And if you don't mind getting burned, like Toxapex, I rode him. It doesn't want to switch in on me because I could be more offensive. I could have Thunderbolt and 2 KO'd, that kind of thing. So yeah, the thing is also one of my checks to Mienshao. It helps with Thunderous to some extent. It helps with Garchomp to some extent. It of course helps with Mesprit as well. It helps with Donphan and Town. If he's offensive Donphan, I can with the Colberry live a knockoff even if he's like Life Orb offensive, Rock Polish, and then just burn him and then he's no longer an issue. So yeah, this thing just has a fantastic matchup against his team. And as I said, nothing wants to get burned. And is there anything else? It's also one of my best ways of dealing with Mega Scizor, of course. Anything else that I want to mention? I feel like there's something else. I don't know. Oh yeah, I had a Thunderbolt initially over HP Ice just for more damage on things like Toxapex and just in general. However, I could not break a Garchomp sub, and I didn't want to invest in special attack because the defense investment is pretty nice to take Mienshao's knockoff a little bit better. So I figured that's where HP Ice. I 2-KO Garchomp with that, and I'll be happy because I don't want Garchomp to sub up on me. If Garchomp subs for free, then I could be in a little bit of trouble. And that's pretty much the only way it can actually be a huge issue because I think I prepped really well for that thing. So, yeah, that's Rotom. Next up, we go into the newest member, sha-leik the Zoroark, the returner from Season 1. With the Choice Scarf. Illusion doesn't really work on Wi-Fi because you can just see the weaknesses on screen, which is fucking bullshit. I wish you could turn it off for Wi-Fi battles, but you can't, I think. So, unfortunate. But yeah, Scarf Zoroark, Dark Pulse, Extra Sensory, HP Ice, and U-Turn. Just max because he does have a Mienshao which speed ties with me, and if necessary, I will take that risk. Because Mienshao is like a giant threat, and if it's Zoroark versus Mienshao and he is not at full, I will more than likely take the risk and go for Extra Sensory. Because that's just, I need to get rid of that thing. So, Extra Sensory, of course, is for the Mienshao, as I said. Also hits Toxapex pretty hard. It kills Mienshao after like Life Orb damage if he is that. If he's at full, I'm expecting him to be max speed to speed tail with this. It's a 50-50 roll, which I could take, but I probably won't. But if he's taking any kind of damage, I will just go for Extra Sensory, and I will hopefully just knock him out. Dark Pulse is really spammable against this team, as his only real resist is nothing. Mega Scizor is his Dark Resist, because Mienshao and Liepard do not count as Dark Resists. Thank you very much. HP is of course for the Garchomp. That thing is such a big threat that even though Dark Pulse does a good amount, I want the HP because after any kind of, well, not any kind, but after some okay chip damage, which I think, yeah, everything on my team does enough damage to it, to the point where HP will kill it afterwards, and I'm guaranteed to outspeed it, even if he does get off a sha-leik Berry or a Z Sandstorm. So, that's fine. And if he accidentally brings Sandveil on his Z Sandstorm Garchomp, I get a free win, because that's not allowed. So, you know, I don't have to worry about missing. So yeah. And then if U-turn for momentum, it also hits the Liepard for good damage and stuff and things. So yeah, he is a very momentum-based team, so me having a little bit of momentum is pretty beneficial, I think. And Zoroark is just so nice because you will see later on what I have on my Jirachi. It means that this thing can check all of his offense so reliably with the support of Rachi. That means I won't get swept by anything. At least that's the plan. So Zoroark is kind of like my safety net if I get damage off or anything, which my team should be able to do because it's so bulky and offensive at the same time. That Zoroark should be able to keep or to pick off anything that is looking spooky. So yeah, that's that. Next up we have maybe my biggest win con. That is Akiza the Superior. This is one of the things I noticed that absolutely destroys this team. As it outspeeds his entire team, which is really nice. And his grass resists aren't the greatest, honestly, at least not for Superior. Funny T doesn't want to take a Leaf Storm. Mega Scizor, HP Fire. Toxapex almost counts as a grass resist, but it can't do much to me because I'm a Superior and Toxapex is weak as shit. Not of course hates me, but if he's Fizz Def, which I'm expecting 2 Leaf Storms, actually 2 KO thing, so that's beautiful. And then he has Gorgeist, which cannot touch me. So Yeah, I mean Fire Blast does a chunk lit, but it doesn't even 2-hit kill, and then he also needs to hit. So, and HP Fire obviously does a million. So, the thing basically just wins outside of Scarfers. He has to bring Scarfers to check the thing, otherwise he just straight up loses to this. No way around it. That is if I play it correctly, of course, which is debatable. So we're bringing a leftover set, of course, contrary. Leaf Storm, Hidden Power Fire, Synthesis, and Substitute. 84 HP, 220 special attack, 204 speed with a Terminator again. Allows me to outspeed his max, his fastest thing, which is a light part. The HP investment means I'm guaranteed to live a Jolly Scarf Reckless Mienshao High Jump Kick. I felt like that was the best thing I could invest in to live, because I'm fairly certain I live any hit from Garchomp if he's Scarf, and Thunder T Sludge Wave is always gonna be scary, but I can also live that from full if I'm not entirely mistaken. So, yeah, I just want to make sure I can live that high jump kick, because if he's Scarf Mienshao, I can live that and then kill him. Hooray! So even if I take a little bit of chip damage, I can still potentially take it because then it's a roll and stuff. So yeah. Basically, the thing wins. That's the plan, at least. Sub and Synthesis are really nice against team. Blame Jolt for Sub, honestly. His 3 Scarfers have scarred me forever. And Sub just avoids me by getting revenge kills from stuff. Also helps me beat things like Gourgeist. If he's like a toxic variant, I can sub up on that. And then just go from there. If he's like Choice Locked with Thunderous, I can sub on that on the switch. If he's choice locked with Mienshao into something stupid like Knockoff, probably is the only thing it would be subbable on. If he's like Choice Garchomp as well, I can sub up on Earthquake. So basically, I can sub up on a lot of things. And then Synthesis is there just to keep me healthy. I could of course run Giga Drain, but I feel like Synthesis is a much better bring in this matchup, because ideally I just click Leaf Storm once, get the boost, and then win. So I don't have to click it that much. I don't have to click Leaf Storm more than 8 times. Yeah, because I ideally have everything weakened by that point, and I can just come in and clean up. So, yeah, that's that. Next up is a really important member defensively. That is Azura, the top of Fini with the leftovers. Misty Surge, of course. Moonblast, Hidden Power Fire, Defog, and Taunt. Physically defensive set with a little bit of speed, just in case he wants to speed creep me. So I, cannot speed Mega Scissor and stuff at HP Fire, I think. So, initially I had Ice Beam over Hidden Power Fire. That is, of course, because it does more to Garchomp and has a chance to kill. It also does a lot more to Thunder T and Gourgeist. However, also the Dawnfire, of course. And just, he has decent ice weakness, so that would be nice. But, Mega Scissor is actually a pretty big threat despite me having Zard X and Rotom. So, I kind of wanted to make sure that I can make it not set up on me. This also means I can switch into it, because if I go into Zard and rocks are up, that's a problem. He's probably just going to U-turn at that point. So I'd much rather have HP Fire and just 2 KOD, Mega Scissor, and be a happy camper. But Defog and Taunt are just really nice. Defog is mainly there because Toxic Spikes are so annoying to my team. Because I dropped my Poison type, because I'm a genius. And yeah, so I needed that. I needed Defog. Of course, I can play around Toxic Spikes pretty fucking well with my team, especially with Finny in itself. And I did that in my mocks. I basically, he got up. I think it was David who brought T-Spikes, and he got up T-Spikes, and it did nothing because it just went to Finny every time, and I just didn't take anything from a Poison Jab, and I just defogged and taunted and had Misty Surge up, and I just played that pretty well. And if I can do that in a game, then Toxic Spikes will not be an issue. At least that's the goal, because these 4 here don't want T-Spikes up. Zoroark doesn't mind too much, but that's still annoying, and these 3 just do not want to get poisoned. So yeah, Toxic Spikes are a little problematic to my team right now. And we'll see if he brings that and if I can work around. Taunt is just nice, so I can prevent Toxic Spikes from being annoying, so it can't like beat me too easily 1v1. And I can rid of him hazing, something like my superior, if I like want to go hard into that. And yeah, stuff and things. Yeah. So next up, we have my Zard set, and I initially had a very weird Zard set because the only Dragon resist is Mega Scizor. So I kind of had the thought of, why not just go Will-O-Wisp, Roost, Dragon Dance with Outrage, because that would be fun, right? Just spamming Outrage for the first time I can actually spam Outrage with Zard. But I figured, like, I had my mocks and it didn't work. It straight up did not work. It lost me momentum. I couldn't click Outrage because there were still things alive that could revenge kill me. and like I can't outrage as long as Mega Scizor is not burned, and just it didn't work. So I had to change my set, and I went with this here. You know, Dragny Lizard with the usual stuff, and Dranglaw, Flebbles, Tailwind, and Roost. So I finally get to bring a Tailwind Zard. That's exciting. Yeah, 236 HP, 188 attack, Adamant, 4 in defense, 4 in special defense. Those are left. It was at 76 in speed. Now, that speed allows me to outspeed a Scarf Mienshao. I don't think Scarf Liepard is coming. If it does, it doesn't do anything to Zard because I'm a Zard. And like Prankster moves are obviously gonna speed me anyway, like Encore and whatnot. So no need to do that. So on a Tailwind, I outspeed Scarf Mienshao. And he has this nice speed gap that I think I don't think he will have that much speed on things like Mesprit. And even if he does, it doesn't do that much to me unless it's like Shoutout Psycho or whatever. And I guess Gogex could outspeed me if it's like a small variant, but again, can't do much to me instead of toxicking me or clicking fall play, I suppose. This attack investment allows me to guaranteed OHKO Garchomp as well as guaranteed OHKOing Mienshao with Dragon Claw, so I don't have to get that Flabber's recall off of myself. And basically the reason I have Tailwind is, as I said, I'm expecting Scarfers and I'm expecting potentially Scarf Chomp, even though like SD sha-leik or SDZ Sandstorm is a really big threat. I feel like he might just bring Scarf just to deal with my Zard effectively. However, if I click Tailwind and he brings the more offensive stream than I expected, because Paul knows me really well and he knows I don't deal as well with offense as I do with defense, as does my, I guess my draft kind of shows that to some extent. Then Tailwind Zard can just straight up win late game. If I weaken something like Dawntrend, which I'm definitely expecting, and preferably just, you know, scout some sets here and there and see if there's maybe a Focus Sash on random things that shouldn't have one, and if Life Up preferably isn't there anymore, or just isn't there at all, and Toxapex isn't there, Tailwind, boom, win. That's pretty much the plan. So, I also wanted Roost. I could have of course had SD Tailwind, the good old set that everyone loves, but I felt like Roost was too important just because Mega Scizor is such a threat that I will eventually have to switch into it, and then I want to Roost. So, yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, that's Zard. This is a nice late game win con, Superior plus Finny kind of for break, and Rotom I guess to some extent, and then my Rachi even to break some of the bulkier stuff and then Zard clean up. That's definitely a thing, definitely a route I can go with this team. I have multiple ways of winning, and that's, you know, kind of what I'm aiming for. So now we have the Jirachi set, and that is an absolutely key set to this matchup. I mentioned it earlier with my Zoroark, but this is a set we're breaking. Tiana, Jirachi, our Captain with the Sugar Berry, Serene Grace, Psychic, Icy Wind, U-Turn, and Wish. Max HP, 108 defense, 4 in special attack, 92 in special defense, Calm Nature, 52 speed. Okay, speed. Okay, no, speed wasn't the first thing I did, I think, because I don't even remember what that was for. Do I remember that? I don't think I do. God, it's been so long. I'm pretty sure it was for Mega Scizor in some way, shape, or form. That would make sense. And also, of course, just preventing speed creeps. So, defense investment allows me to take a, I think, Banded Reckless High Jump Kick from Mienshao. I think that's what it was. Speed investment means I can take pretty much any hit from Funny T. I think even a +2 Dark Pulse potentially. I can then Icy Wind it, and then that's slow. So that's cool. There's of course no boosting item. I can also take at neutral a Black Hole Eclipse, which is cool, and then again just Icy Wind it, slow it down, or just Psychic it, U-turn it eventually, depending on the situation of course, and act accordingly. And the main thing this does is with the Sugar Berry, this is my lure for Garchomp. As Icy Wind does over half, I just need to fucking hit, and if he is, you know, like at +1 speed, or just neutral speed, anything really, I get an Icy Wind off, and he's slower, and my team can deal with it, including Zoroark. Another reason Icy Wind is that because I can slow down a Agility Thunder T, which then means Zoroark again can revenge kill it. So, that is of course involving him not going for agility again after I do that, but you know, just gotta do what you gotta do. That is, I assume he's gonna have damage at that point because I'm planning to hit that thing, because I'm not gonna let 30 Heat set up for free, hopefully. So yeah, and if he only gets up agilities, then that's fine. Zard eats, and even Superior can eat a hit, and even Rotom with the Coldberry. So it should all be fine and dandy. So yeah, that's the team. I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. It went pretty well in my mocks. I lost one mock because I just decided to, with my old Zards, just to click Outrage instead of grinding anything further on the Mega Scizor. So I just lost. And then overall, it went pretty well, and I'm pretty content with the team. Tell me what you think though in the comments down below. Tell me if you think we can win this week, because oh my god, do we need to. The league table is so close. It's like a 5-way tie right now, I think. 5-6-way? I think even a 6-way tie with teams that are all 3-2, and it's terrible, and I just need to win, because I think everyone who gets their third loss this week is going to have a really rough time still getting into title race. Of course, it's still just one game, but there are going to be a fair amount of people that are just one game ahead of you, and things can get a little hairy. So I definitely want to win this game. It is really important that I do for me. Also because like someone has got to stop Paul, because he's been absolutely tearing it up, and I guess I got to do that now. So yeah, tell me the thing of the team and stuff. And the battle should be up tomorrow, hopefully, if all things go according to plan, and you know, technology doesn't hit me. But yeah, I said thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, leave some newts. I will appreciate all 3 of those, and hopefully see you guys next time. Goodbye.